Hey guys, I'm here. I'm back. I'm filming the same day. I might do that a lot because I have some other stuff on the go, and I might just like film like all in one day, and I'll be wearing the same clothes, but I don't care because who cares? So I think I'm gonna talk just a little bit about where I came from and kind of who I was when I was younger. I'm actually 30 years old right now, if you guys don't know. Um, so yeah, I'm not going to touch on certain areas. It's just something I'm not comfortable with yet, and I don't feel I need to share. I did have some experiences in childhood that were not so nice, and we'll leave it at that. Um, so I was, I was really athletic. I was very athletic. I was into the sport called, jump rope, and it's actually like a pretty legit sport. It was pretty cool. I was good. Like, I wasn't like, oh my god, so good, but like, I like placed in things and stuff like that, and kind of had my place there, and it was great, and it was awesome. I loved it. I loved it. I went back to coach like probably like 8 years ago, and I was like, oh man, I'm so out of shape, but um, I loved it, and yeah, so I did that for like good like 8 years or something crazy like that. Then I got an injury, so I coached, and because I was coaching, I wasn't into it as much, and I really wanted to just be like jump roping, and so I got into more like in high school. I got more into kind of the musical kind of arts thing, and musical arts, music, singing. I did like kind of the musical kind of thing, stuff like that. I found myself, I went to camps, I went to church camps, and I used to love going to church camp. And I would go to church camp, and I would meet people in the area that I lived in, and then I would get involved in things, big youth things. And as a youth, I was all involved in the church, and I was all gun ho about all of it, and it was like a huge thing, and like, but like it's not me now today, but it was a wonderful thing to have like almost an outlet in this community that I was part of, where I could kind of get away and just like, you know, it was nice. I like I never really felt like I fit in, like most of us with these issues. We don't really feel like we fit in much. I always felt kind of different, but I still felt part of some things in like my high school years, so that was good. I always felt disconnected to my friends. Like, my friends would be having like a great time, and I was like all disconnected and dissociating and stuff, and I didn't even know I was dissociating at the time and stuff like that. So, but yeah, basically I just went to college. I went on to college. I did my thing. Um, yeah, I was just a pretty like straightforward, this is what I'm doing. I'm going with the flow of what life should look like. And then I did get diagnosed with bipolar. So I did get sick with that. And that was interesting and stuff. So, and that was kind of the start of like my mental health journey. My borderline, shortly about a year later, was triggered, or kind of came out more. I never really like. I remember thinking like maybe at like 13 or something. I remember reading like some kind of like self help book for like teens or whatever, and like I was reading like a story about like a girl who committed suicide or something, and I remember my thoughts really was consumed with that for a while. Like, if I was to commit suicide, how would I do that? And I had like those kind of thoughts. Like, even like I had no understanding of it, but I was still thinking of it like at a very young age. So it was very interesting. I just thought of that today and wanted to share that. But I think, yeah, suicide would come up, like, or I would say in a conflict with someone, like, I'm thinking of one in particular conflict that was not nice when I was like 14. Like, I would use, oh, what do you want me to do? Kill myself? Or like, I would say stuff like that, and like, you know, like that kind of stuff. I really believe it goes really deep, and people just don't say things like that because they say it, you know. And I think it should all be looked at as a red flag. But yeah, so my, like, I don't know, like I was a happy teen, but I was not all there. I was so disconnected from the world, like, all the time. Like, I didn't know until I started having my spiritual awakening what it was really like to connect with someone, or love someone, or feel my emotions. I didn't feel things. There's so much was just pushed in me. Like, I wasn't feeling emotions, like, as I was growing up, and I wasn't, like, things were ignored. Things weren't, like, you know, something would happen and it'd be like, oh, next, move on. Like, but it's like, no, what about, like, how I felt? And it's like, what about how I felt? And so that stuff would happen so much that it was like inside me, just like stuck all inside me. And but I, like, later down the road, I, like, for sure started feeling those emotions with our beautiful emotions that we go through. But you know, it's I bottled a lot up. I kept a lot in me. There's a lot in me that's still coming out today. It's still, I'm like, oh, there's that memory. Oh, that's a feeling, you know. But, like, they appear because you can learn something from them, and you can heal more and become even more whole as a person. Like, that's the way I look at it now, you know? So, I mean, I look in the past when I need to, and when it's right, and when I'm ready to deal with something, to deal with whatever this situation is, or this feeling, or this whatever. And then I have to, like, deal with it, look at it, and sometimes put it aside for a bit, give it a couple weeks, maybe then journal about it again. Or I do come to some kind of conclusion of relief or letting it go, and then I just let it go and I just leave it in the past. Being able to see gray area more and more in my life is so helpful to letting go of things, and seeing that resentments and anger and stuff like that, if we get out of that black and white thinking, we can actually let go of that kind of thing. So anyways, and the being in the victim mode is something that I'm very passionate about. I believe we need to be in those modes to feel what we have to feel. But I don't believe it's a place where we should sit, because it manifests, and it's not good. So anyways, I'm rambling on. That's a little bit about my childhood-ish stuff. I don't want to touch on certain stuff, which I'm sure you guys understand, but that's kind of what it was like for me. And yeah, so I guess this is part 1 of my video series. Okay, bye guys, keep safe.